Oh, well, hello there, you beautiful, wonderful, intelligent, interesting human being. I'm Andrea Dawn, and today we are here discussing more yoga philosophy. The past few weeks we've been talking about the gunas, and the gunas are what makes up Prakriti, or all that is manifest matter. Now, this includes even our thinking, our thoughts, our feelings, but pretty much what we consider our reality is composed of these three gunas, which are tamas, rajas, and sattva. So there are videos that you can watch on tamas and rajas. Today is all about sattva. In general, tamas is a dark, inert energy. Rajas is an active, passionate energy. And today, all about sattva being a balanced, harmonious, light, and buoyant energy. And so, like we said, everything is made up of all three, and their consistency is constantly changing. And what we want to try to do is take away the labels of good and bad from these gunas so that we're able to see from a perspective that is beyond good and bad as to simply what is. So oftentimes that's really what yoga is all about, is definitely feeling the feelings of our perspective, because our experiences were real and valid, and the way that we feel about them is important to move through our body. And then once we move through that, that's when we can develop the intellect so that we can see more clearly. So I'm going to read to you what I wrote about sattva, this balanced, harmonious state of being. Imagine all of our universe as a massive piece of magical fabric. This fabric is Prakriti, or all that has become manifest. This ever-changing, ever-expanding, extraordinary piece of fabric is woven together with fiber. And the fiber is of three colors. We can consider these fibers the gunas. The guna fiber of tamas is black. The guna fiber of rajas is red, and the guna fiber of sattva is white. Dependent upon the amount of fiber guna used is the color that you see, or the guna that is dominant. Yet all three are always present and always moving and grooving in the creation of this fabric of existence. The fabric, the fibers, and the weaving is neither good nor bad. It just is. And of course, we have preferences of colors and patterns, of which are also always moving and grooving right along with the journey of our lives. Today we consider in depth the white guna fiber, or that of sattva. While the gunas are to be understood without the labels of good and bad, it is impossible not to acknowledge their hierarchy, at least when we consider the human being. Sure, we can rid ourselves of the bad label when we acknowledge our beautiful Mother Earth as tamasic, our life-giving sun as rajasic, and our buoyant moon as sattvic. However, when we speak of a human and their qualities as more tamasic in nature, or what we might describe as lazy and ignorant, it feels way more complicated to untangle judgment from those qualities. But of course, this is what we are required to do to retain a more sattvic state. Sattva qualities are described as peaceful, light, illuminating, balanced, harmonious, fulfilled, and of pure intelligence. So perhaps we can consider the hierarchy without judging it, or at least with the understanding that it is the judgment itself that is repelling the sattvic state of being from us. It is the judgment itself that is the imbalanced fiber in our daily weaving that is making our weaving way too dark. This reminder is an incredible weight lifted from my shoulders. Oh, dang, I am not responsible for anyone else, for their actions, their opinions, or their understandings. I'm solely responsible for my own. I'm solely responsible for my portion of the weaving every day. Every day I am weaving with my thoughts and words and actions or non-actions. Here I am trying to weave for everyone else, or stuck on analyzing the rightness, or more likely, the wrongness of their weaving. And in doing so, my very own portion cannot be woven with the intricacy, care, and presence that are absolutely required to simply not stab myself with my own needle. Acknowledging and observing the fabric, its fibers, colors, and patterns, is to be present with yourself and with life. More often than not, the act of freeing ourselves from the dialogue and judgment about the fabric is the real change or action required to experience just a glimpse of the fabric as one whole, breathtaking, and brilliant tapestry. And that's where yoga tells us that we are able to catch a glimpse or more glimpses of that tapestry when we're in that sattvic state, which is why, as we notice how those compositions are moving throughout us daily, we do want the ingredient of sattva to become more and more present within us. Again, it's not to judge our tamas or our rajas, which are absolutely part of being a human. It's to say that, wow, when I can make my composition more sattvic, I have the ability to see and experience life from a more peaceful state. And so to be less agitated, to be less in the dialogue, to be less judgmental of what everyone else is doing, gives us more and more of that buoyant light state where we can see things for what they really are, where we get to experience ourselves as more of the truth of who we are, that Purusha, that divine presence that is all of us, but is often covered up and being overlaid with all of these actions and judgments and dialogue and perspectives and previous life experiences. And so really our job in our yoga practice is to be purifying, to be cleansing, to be removing, and to release all of the judging and the pointing and making ourselves and others wrong. I hope this was helpful in understanding sattva and in all of the gunas. Go back and watch all of the videos. I think that we can continually deepen our understanding by considering these in our daily lives. Please like and subscribe so that these videos pop up for you and we can continue to walk this yoga journey together. It is always a blessing, an honor, and a privilege. My heart sees and feels and smiles to yours. Namaste, yogis.